Welcome to Adventures with Paw Paw. Today's episode, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to make a Christmas tree. Just not a regular Christmas tree now. We're going to make a special Christmas tree. We're making a Christmas tree
out of reclaimed pallet wood.
Well, there you go. All hand painted, hand done by a 13-year-old here. So, what do you say? Let's roll the intro. Wait a minute. We don't have an intro. If somebody wants to help make an intro, leave a comment down below. Oh, I just covered her face. But leave a comment down below. All right, let's get started. But you know what? I see a lot of YouTubers do this. I don't know. Let's see if it works.
So I measured 1.25 away from the ending point for the tree. And the reason why I did that is so the straight edge can line up with that, but it's the measurement from the saw blade to the edge of that.
Very good. All right. See, now they're informed.
Yes.
Okay, so now what are you going to do?
Gotta line the straight edge up and clamp it to wood. You gotta line it up with the 1.25 marks.
Okay.
It's not enough room to get the clamp on. You gotta move it away from where you're sawing on it. But you gotta make sure it's clamped to the table. Some help here?
I'll clamp this side to the table.
Good.
How's that?
Thank you. Forgot about that part.
Gotta clamp it
There
to
we
the
go.
table.
There we go. Oops. Oh, it's gotta go this way.
Clamp both sides, then line up your lines.
Okay.
Get that one close because once you move the other one, that one will move.
Okay.
They make specific clamps for this, but we use what we have laying around, and that's an aluminum angle iron, iron. Aluminum angle, and I had that laying around, so that's what we're using as a saw guide. And they make specific clamps that guide that, and you can hook it on that side, and you come down here, and then all you do is just boom, and you clamp it, and then you got a saw guide there. But you can buy them.
Our resources gave us.
Exactly. You know, I have no idea how much they cost, but I'm pretty sure that they're not
In budget.
cheap. And yeah, this is a low budget project. There you go.
I got it. Always hold the saw when you're done using it. Hold it away from the body so you don't get cut or hurt. Don't learn the hard way if you don't have to, because you don't gotta take an ER trip if you don't have to either. So,
That's excellent advice.
coming from a 13-year-old. Nope. So, since this is a Christmas tree and there's angles on either sides from the middle to the corner, you can't have it laying like this, how we did when we were cutting the bottom edge. So you're going to take it and make sure this angle, the outer angle, is straight how you need it. And then you're clamping it to the table, as you did before. Make sure it's still straight. So with these, we're using 2-inch spring clamps to hold the wood and the straight edge, the table and wood. Alright, so now what you're going to do here is you don't want to line it up on the outer edge. You're going to line it up on the inner line that we have marked. That way you have, so these are the Christmas tree branches. That way we can cut these off. And notice people, I'm wearing safety glasses. Always wear your safety glasses. That way you don't get wood in your eyes. That's painful.
It's another ER trip.
Nope, not needed. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the saw, line it up with the straight edge, and cut along the outer line. And make sure you hold this up. That way you don't get a gap in between the straight edge and the wood. Making of a Christmas tree. So now it's on to getting the actual branch parts off. So at first, when we first started, we had straight edges. Now we're gonna make them have the branches, the angles. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your saw, take this side, and always keep your finger off the trigger before you start, in case your thumb's always pressing the safety button. So you're going to take it, and you want to make sure that the line is in between the 0 and the 45 degree. And then line your saw blade up with the line. And always watch your saw blade when you're doing this. So. See how I did that? And you don't want to run it all the way up through here, because then you're going to make the tree have a line through the other branch. Alright, so now we got to cut off the edges, these. So there's 3 different ways we could do this. We could use the hand saw. The go big saw doesn't really cut a straight line, so we're not using either of those. And the jigsaw. We're going to obviously use the jigsaw. So the jigsaw, you pull the trigger, goes as fast or as slow as you want it to, as long as you pull the trigger, see? We're gonna use that. So, with this, you also have to watch the blade when you're cutting. So, you're gonna put it into the edge, like that, and hold it, right, no, there. You're gonna pull the trigger, till it falls, till the edge falls. Okay. This piece, oh, wrong piece. Any of these pieces, one of these. As soon as that falls, you're done. So we're gonna do that with all of the rest of those that haven't fallen off yet. Alright, so this is what we turned out with. Very nice Christmas tree, but now we just have to sand the edges and paint it and get it on the base. Just gonna round off the edges, so let's get started. Alright, so let me show you what I did here. So as you can see, with this one's pointy, and it still has the ridges from when we were trimming off the extra pieces of wood that we didn't need. Here I can run my finger across it and not get poked by the little splintery pieces. And it's all rounded and smooth. That's what we're gonna do on all of them. So I'm not gonna bore you with sanding. So I'm gonna get these all done and we're gonna jump to the next step, and that would be painting. See you then. So as you can see, we already painted our base coats black, and now we're gonna paint the top coat green, which is our homemade chalk paint, which we will leave down in the recipe down in the description. So since we're going to be sanding it, you don't have to cover it all green, and you can put it on as thick or as thin as you like. So we're just going to paint this green, and then we'll come back and show you what to do next. So as I'm finishing up this last tree, paint it green. Next I'm gonna paint these bases red, and that'll give you guys a couple minutes to do all the things. And what I mean by all the things is hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to notify you guys about the next episode that we post, and hit that thumbs up button. And while you're at it, leave a comment and tell us what you guys like, and if you guys want to see anything what to do next, and share our video. Alright, so now what we're doing is we're going to paint the base red. So first I'm going to paint here, and I'm going to paint away and towards me. That way I'm not getting any clothing in paint. So here, then this side, or either side, whatever you prefer. And then the base, and then since you're going to be holding it like this, you paint here last, and then move on to the next one. Alright? So, paint, grab your base, start painting. That's all paint. So I'm going to finish these up, let them dry thoroughly, and we'll see you tomorrow. Alright, so we got them all painted, and now we're going to be moving into the sanding process. And we're going to show you how to bring out all the colors that are underneath the green, black, and down to the wood. We're going to let the sandpaper do the work, and we're not going to go hard on the wood. We're gonna let just softly over top of the paint. See how it's starting to bring out the colors of the wood. It's gonna do that until you have a liking of how it looks. You can do it by hand. That way you can see what you're doing, because when we were doing with the palm sander, that took off a lot of the paint down to the actual wood. So we're gonna just take it and just... It is a bit of a slower process, but it doesn't take as much of the paint off. That way it doesn't show too much of the natural wood color. And then you can see how it's starting to bring out the black through the green. Alright, so you should wear a glove. It's up to you. But you're gonna get a blister if you do it by hand, since you're pushing down on your thumb and you're moving it across the sandpaper. You're gonna get a big blister. It's gonna be painful, and it's gonna be there for about a week. So it's up to you. But I'm wearing a glove. Now we're gonna move to the edges. We're not gonna bring out too much more because we want it to still look antique and rustic. So, corners, and that's how it's gonna look. Brings out some of the colors, and you can still see some of the natural wood through the paint. Alright, so I'm happy with how this looks from when I was sanding it. Now we're gonna see how it will look when it's all finished with the top coat. And so you're gonna take a lint-free cloth and you're gonna dampen it, right? And then you're gonna wipe off the dust. And that'll give you that sealed look when it's all wiped off like that. So you're just gonna do that all the way down from top and see how it'll look when it's sealed. You don't have to worry about the green coming off. That's just all the extra dust that's on there from when you sanded. So it's not the paint coming off. Alright, so this is what it'll look like when it's sealed front and back. The back, you're just going to sand it. That way you bring out a little bit of the natural wood. So now all we have to do is put the Christmas balls on it, put the base, and put those two together. And actually seal it this time. And there we go.
Hopefully, once she gets done, that's what they'll look like.
Well, they'll be obviously brighter. I have to do layers.
All right. Getting it done. It's coming along. Oh!
What?
Oh no!
What?
The tree, it's upside down. We gotta start all over.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. You're wrong.
Oh, look at that. Okay, he's done. Good, excellent job. I think she'll be very pleased with the outcome of that.
Definitely.
So we have to seal it.
Yes.
We'll let that paint dry. We'll seal it, and we'll call her up and tell her to come and get it. Very good.
After we put it back together.
Yep. Very good. All right. Project done. Well, hello. We're going to put this Christmas tree together that we showed McKaylee was making. Unfortunately, they have this thing called school. And McKaylee has to go to school, so it's a little tough to get her back here at times to finish some of these projects. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this project because this is waiting to go out the door. So I got my tools, I got my drill, we got the tree, we got the stand, we got all the pieces, and I have my hot tea because it's getting cold out. So, okay, got my glue. First thing we have to do is we got to find center of the base. Okay, I got my little 2 pieces here. So we're going to measure. All right, this base is 4 inches, so obviously center is going to be 2 inches. Well, you don't want to mark it at the end because you want the tree to sit on the center. Hide the pencil marks. Not that you can really see them, but the tree itself is 5/8. So half of 5/8 is 5/16. So we want to come over and measure 5/16. And that'll be the front of the tree. So as I'm doing this, okay, we're going to set this tree right here on these 2 center marks. And that's basically how that's going to set. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scribe the back. I'm going to mark right here. And I'm going to mark right here. And I'm going to draw a line across the back here, like so. And that gives me my reference points to locate where my stops need to go. So there's the line there, there's a line there. And what I want to do is I scribe the line for the center, for the centerpiece, for this here. I don't want that tight because I don't want to fight it. So we're going to leave a little bit, just like a 1/16 of an inch. And that'll give us an 1/8 of an inch play. So then once I line that up, I already have the holes pre-drilled. So I want to line that up. I'm going to take a scratch awl and I'm just going to poke a hole right there. I should have 2 of them. But looks like I only have 1 handy. So let me grab another one. Okay, I got another scratch awl. So I'm going to put 2 scratch awls. All right. Now, what I did there was I poked holes in the base. Okay. So now I got my holes. So this is going to line up right with that. So the screws, when we screw it down, it's going to line up with those holes. So I'm going to mark this one left, because this is the left side. And then, let me see, get this one on the line, on the mark. Poke a hole. Poke a hole. Remove scratch awls. Mark this one right. And we're good to go on the base. Okay, so my next step is going to be, well, glue it down, put some screws in it. So let's get started on that. Okay, as you can see, I glued them down, and that's the base now. And I got the guides on, and I almost used the wrong screws. I was putting 2" in here, and this calls for 1.25". So almost messed up. I would have drove that screw right down into my work table. But all right, let me clear them out of the way so I don't use them. But I'm going to use them. So now I want to put that in, and now it sits, as you can see, it sits right in there. Okay, it's not going to stand up until I get it screwed together. Okay, but let me get this out of the way. But that's how that will sit. So now I want to mark the ends, and I want to mark the end of the tree so I don't drill a hole past that. And I want to come in from the end. Oh, my hand's in the way. I want to come in from this end right here, okay, because it's angled. You don't want to drive a screw, 2" screw up here. So you want to move it in to where you got some meat, some wood. So we're going to move this in probably about 2.5 inches from the ends. And I'll draw a line, mark it out, and put some screws in. Okay, now if you remember, we marked the center of this, so we should have center marks, and it's 2 inches. So we're going to line up the straight edge. Oops, if I can keep it still. Just draw a light line. And that should be the center of your Christmas tree. So we scribed marks here. I didn't put a mark on that one. So let me go ahead and put this back up so I don't get messed up here. Okay, I scribed a mark there, but I didn't scribe a mark here. So I scribed a mark there. All right, we got our end marks, and I'm going to come in. I'm going to come in 2 inches. That should give me enough. Yeah, that'll give me enough wood to bite into where I won't poke through. So I'm going to come in 2 inches. You know what? I'll come in 2.5. I'll go in 2.5, just like I said I was going to. And 2.5 inches. And just mark a little cross on your line. And then I'm going to split the difference here. We got 14 inches. So we'll go 7, 1 in the center, and then we'll go 3.5, and then we'll go another 3.5 on this side. So that'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws plus the Gorilla Glue to hold it down. That should be plenty. So, all right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scratch awl and I'm going to put it on this mark. Here, let me show you what I did here. Okay. So there's my end, and then this is the center of the tree, and there's the 2.5 inch mark. I just drew a line, and then right here I drew a cross. So I'm going to stick my scratch awl in that. And punch it down. Okay. That's straight, so it's just a camera angle. All right, so I'm going to keep doing that, and then I'm going to drill holes straight through, and then I'm on the back side of it, on the underside, I'm going to countersink it so the heads of the screws go up into the wood. And then we're going to run 2-inch screws into the tree. But being this tree is only 5/8 thick, I'm going to pre-drill a small hole into the tree so the screw won't split this wood. So it'll follow that. But I have to drill these holes first to line up with that tree. Okay, before you drill, have a scrap piece of wood and put it underneath. So this way you'll be able to feel and you won't drill into your workbench. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put it into that little hole that I started. Try to drill straight down. And I can feel it. I can feel it go through the wood. You can see it move. The size bit I'm using is a 9/64. It's a 9/64 bit. All right, so now I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to put my taper bit in. And to ensure that we get a good seat with the tree, I'm just going to touch this because when you drill, little pieces of wood come up. So I'm just going to touch that, and that'll take any little wood pieces that might not allow the tree to sit flush on the base. Now on the underside, we got the holes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this taper bit and I'm going to countersink so the screw head can sit down inside. You don't have to go deep. You don't have to go deep with them. Just enough for that screw head to sit down in there. So, all right, I think we're ready here to put this tree on here. And what I have to do is mark or drill. I think I'll drill. I'm going to put a 1/8 inch bit. I'll put a 1/8 inch bit in, and then I'm going to drill into the tree. Okay, now I should have 5 holes in the center, which that looks real good. You can see the holes in the center. Now that screw, them screws will go right. Them screws will go right up in there. So, all right, for this, we're going to use the 2-inch. We're going to use the 2-inch. So I need 5 of them. That's 4. We're going to use a 2-inch screw. Okay. So, get some glue on this. Clean that tip off. We'll get some glue on here. Yep. Just gonna take my thumbnail and scrape off any little wood burrs that might be on there, because you want it to sit flat. So let's go ahead and I'll put a line of glue, and we'll smear it around with my finger. All right, where's my rag? You want to get the wood off, or the glue, the wood. You want to get the glue off your fingers, and then you don't want to touch your project. Okay. So, with that there, okay, now we'll run. I got my other battery charging, so now I got to keep switching batteries. All right, I'm going to throw one here in the center. Just touch it. That looks like a good seal. Then I'll put one in the end. Put one on the end. On this end, I'm pushing down. This way it's on my backer boards. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. I didn't glue that. Take the screws out. Okay, it's okay. I wanted to put glue on this backer. And I totally forgot. But that's okay, because I could do that because the glue wasn't set up yet. So, okay. So, do this again. Second time's a charm. First time's actually the charm if you do it right the first time. So, all right, we'll start in the center again. We'll do the same thing on the end. Go on this end. And as I started to say, I'll show you what I'm going to do. All right, now I got glue on here, okay, but I take my brad gun and I got like 3/4, let me see what I got in there. Oh geez, I'm glad I checked. That would have been messed up. I got staples in there from another project. Let me go get the 1.25" brads. Grab them back. I got 1.25" brads, and so I just come through the front. Here, let me turn it this way. See if I can do this here. I just come through the front and just throw a brad in. I'll put 2 in each side. That just helps hold it. And I'll put 1 in, 2 in back here. That's 4 brads. That helps hold it. Because some people will put this outside, on their porch, on their patio, Then I'll just take my scratch all with the rag. Gets right in there, gets that glue, excess glue that seeped out. There's none in the back, so that's good. All right, and that's that. Now, next step is I'm gonna take it out back. I'm gonna put some polyurethane in my spray gun, and we're gonna seal this. So let me get all hooked up, and I'll take you out back, and I'll show you how to seal this. But in the meantime, don't forget, if you're not already a subscriber, you know, do all them things. All them things is hit the subscribe, click that bell, give me a thumbs up, and let YouTube know that you like this. And if you got any comments, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. Yeah. So, all right, let me get going. Let me get out back here. Okay, I'm all set up. I got my air compressor out here. I got my spray gun. I got my polyacrylic protective finish from Minwax. Minwax is not a sponsor. This is just a product that I use to seal my projects with. So I pour this in the in my spray gun, and it makes the whole thing a lot easier. You can apply this with a brush or a sponge brush, bristle brush. For my little wood projects like this, I tend to use the spray gun. It goes on a lot smoother. This is a water base, and it's a lot easier to clean up because all you need is fresh water, and it cleans right up, and it dries fast. So but this is what I prefer to use. So let me get started. Let me go get my tree, get this in my spray gun, and we'll get this thing sealed up. All right, so got in my spray gun here. You're not going to see me in the frame, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold back about 12 inches, and I'm just going to spray one light coat, and I'll apply 2 coats. So let's get started on this. You want to make sure you get into every little nook and cranny. Okay, first coat's dry, so now I'm gonna apply the second coat, and now it should be done and ready to be delivered. Okay, that'll do it. Second coat was just applied. It's got to dry. So basically what I've tried to do here is with these projects is I'm trying to teach the kids how to use their hands, how to use power tools, think about things, how things are put together, and from start to finish. McKaylee put together a few of these already, and this was the last one, and obviously I didn't get a chance to record her putting it together, so I had to finish it. But she did real good. She knows how to use the power tools, and I can't wait to get more projects for her to do and for the kids to do. So if you like what you've seen, hit that subscribe. It's up here, I think. Hit that bell way over there. Give me that thumbs up, and go ahead and leave a comment and see how you like this tree. We got to go deliver this. So once again, as always, thank you for watching Adventures with Paw Paw. Always make sure that you've got your safety goggles on and your equipment is plugged in.
We'll put that in bloopers in the
end. It's not spinning.
I was like, wait, why isn't it working? Okay, ready?
Okay, go ahead and take that air nozzle off. Keep on scrolling.
Is it gonna like blast the air at me or something?
Yeah.
Why isn't it coming?
It's not coming off?
No.
All right, well, unscrew this. That don't work either?
No.
Okay, well, take this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and pull it down. Ah!
You're mean.
Okay.
Literally, it's just like, I'm scared it's gonna turn on again. Okay, so now we're gonna work on sanding the edges and the base of the tree with this
What is that?
sander, with the power.
What is that?
Palm sander.
Okay.
I knew that. Anyways.
What'd it do?
It hit my ear. It's
What hit your ear?
It landed on the tree.
And it's stuck in the paint.
Ew, it's so high.
Well, pick it up.
It's like it freaks out when I try. Stop.
Fly came, hit you in the side of the face, bounced into your paint. Throw it in the trash can.
What's that?
That's all right, it'll die. It's painted now.
Ew.